Is he awake?
No,
Good, 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 good.
nodded off listening to Tech Talk.
Mm. So you, so Mr. Dylan bought a house.
Does he?
Mm.
All right, we are coming in now.
Okay, thanks.
Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Chronicles on another fine Wednesday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I am Ron Kolick, your host, the gatekeeper of the realm of the unknown, unexplained, and unbelievable. New England's own Van Helsing. With me, my co-host, the amazing God of infrasound, gold standard and ghost hunting, Steve Parsons.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
That's good. You know, I have to say, my voice absolutely sucks. Okay, I can't stand my own voice. Yet
I can't
people,
stand your voice either if it's
I
any.
know that. I know that. Yeah, can't stand anything about me. But I get so many people that request that they hear my voice in their heads, and they, when they go to sleep at night, it's like, what the hell was that? I mean,
They're probably doing the French grammar.
oh yes, the French grammar. Yeah, yeah, very good. Anyways, it's pretty weird. I just can't figure it out, but that's life. Unless it's AI. I don't know. Could it be AI? Oh, you would have loved this morning. This morning on the morning show, I had a special guest.
Oh, yeah.
One, yeah, AI Jesus.
AI Jesus.
Yeah, we actually got to talk to Jesus. It was pretty interesting.
I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
not a
quite.
good way.
It was interesting. He told us what products to buy, so that was good. Um, anyways, so if you want to check it out, check it out. It's the morning
Dude,
edition.
advice from Jesus.
What's that?
Consumer advice from Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. You got it all. So there you go. They quote scriptures at the same time, so it's amazing. If you want to check it out, it's the morning edition right here on TojiNet, and wherever you get your podcast. So check it out, morning edition, and listen to us speak to AI Jesus. So anyway, speaking about speaking, you got a speaking gig in Georgia.
Oh, don't remind me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've got two actually. Over the weekend of the end of the month, last weekend of the month.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even have to leave the comfort of my own office.
Do you have two good gigs in Georgia?
No, I've got two talks. For,
But they're
um,
in Georgia, though, right?
the event is in Savannah,
Yeah,
uh,
Savannah, Georgia. That's what we call
Savannah.
Georgia here.
Yeah.
Mm.
On for
Mhm.
MacabreCon. Um,
So he's got you for 2 days,
uh, yeah,
sucker.
I know. I'm not
Hope
getting
he's
paid either.
hopefully he's paying you big bucks, right?
No, all the money's gone to what's he got? Andrea Perrin.
Oh, he's got big names, not like you, huh?
Exactly. In fact, we're about 3 weeks into the promotion, and I only barely rated a mention
Mm.
yesterday.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You look at the advert; it's Andrea Perrin and Dacre Stoker, and
Who I didn't even see Ann's name there at all. Ann Winsper.
Anne was mentioned for the first time today.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do you know what really? I mean, I don't mind doing it, but what really sucks? Um, talk length,
Hmm.
25 minutes.
Huh? You can't even warm up in 25 minutes.
I know. I mean, it's like, he said, can you do like, they're not easy subjects either. He wants me to do ghost hunting
Paracoustics.
equipment
Yeah.
and paracoustics. It's like the intros are 25 minutes.
What about, I don't know, whatever. Teach their own.
I'm going to try and cram here.
Well, he's got Andrea in there. She's probably going 3 hours. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems to be quite strict. So I've got like an hour's talk to do in 25 minutes.
good
That's
job.
It's going to be tight. I
Yeah.
thought what I could do is just do it at the normal speed, but pre-record it and then play it twice as fast. So I'll sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's not bad at all. That's a
I
good
think
idea.
they wouldn't know in Georgia.
No, I don't know.
They
You
probably
speak,
think
you speak English anyway, so
Well, they probably think Brits all talk like Alvin and the Chipmunks, so I could
they
tell them.
probably do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They'll be out. I've got to do one in Massachusetts in September.
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
When you
yes, of course, yes.
when you remind me of the subject.
Yeah, I know, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, so far behind on that.
I mean, we came up with a good idea, but neither of us wrote it down.
Yeah. Well, I kind of remember it, but anyway.
Well,
So
I remember the broad sort of, it's based on ghostology, but I can't remember which two modules we were going to use.
yeah, well, we'll talk. Anyways, yeah, I've been dealing with for those who don't know that now I am the new, for better or
You are
worse,
Mr. Parrot X.
own a Pararex.
One
radio.
of two, Mr. and Mrs. Parrot X. We're gonna have to
Well,
rename.
she's my yeah. Yeah, Marla Brooks and myself. Yep.
Didn't want me to do it, did you? Bastard.
Like you don't have time for this show. Never mind Pararex.
Does it mean I've got to stay up all night?
Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. But anyway, yeah. So, but I did see that advert.
You know, I haven't done this show now for 6 months.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
This is AI.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm
It's
a
like
bot.
AI Jesus.
Yeah, I'm a bot.
What are you selling?
I'm fast asleep in the other room.
Oh, good thinking. Anyway, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be sad. Anyways, I did see the ad. Is it advertisement? How do you say it in English?
Advertisement.
Advertisement. I did say it properly. Wow, I can't believe that.
Although when an American comes on, we say advertisement because it annoys the Americans.
Yeah, advertisement. Anyways, I saw that one for Paracon, and I saw Paracoustics, which got me thinking. And how bad is it?
That's
we're in trouble.
a good book. That.
Yeah, I know we're in trouble with that. So yes, paracoustics. So what is paracoustics? What do you actually cover in paracoustics? Even though I have the book.
Right, the what is, we'll read it. The what is paracoustics is a word I made up. Like paranormal and acoustics. And it is sound and the paranormal, but it isn't just like EVP and sound recording, because sound is actually involved in almost every type of phenomena. In fact, sound are probably the most commonly reported phenomena. And it's got
temperature. Temperature's recorded quite a bit too.
It's not often.
Well, they kind of like meld together sort of a little bit. Yeah, all right, I'll give you sound. All right.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, sound is statistically one of the most common phenomena.
There goes you throws the statistics at me. Go ahead.
People report, but no, I mean the book itself doesn't just deal with the sounds during an investigation, because there are sonic aspects to music, to shamanism, to ritual and ceremony and all sorts of other things.
Bigfoot.
Including Bigfoot.
Yeah. See.
So the book is actually it's actually in two halves. The first are a series of chapters edited or written by myself and Dr. Carl Cooper. And then
he can write. I didn't realize he could write. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he can do joined up writing.
I
just wish he'd finished Paravision. Yeah, sore point. The second half is rather than us write about something, that we are not necessarily involved with,
Mhm.
like music and the paranormal, seance, raps and knocks. We went to the people that did the research and said, "Will you write us a chapter about this? Because you are, one of the leading, if not the leading experts in their field."
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah, I noticed I didn't get asked to write anything.
yeah, well, not necessary.
Go ahead.
So yeah, that's what Paracoustics is. It's available on Amazon in 3 formats. It's the only one of the books that was ever a hardback,
Oh, yeah.
because well, they were always all going to be, but cost is an issue. And I was always Paracoustics was it was an interesting project because when I conceived it, I wanted it to be a book that anybody could read,
Mhm.
but it would also be a book that would stand alone on a university library shelf.
Oh, cool.
So that's hence the hardback version.
Yeah,
And there's also now, because it's 2025, there's a Kindle version too.
of course there is. Probably
Uh,
next year will be an AI version.
well, we did look at, in fact, it's still a plan to do audiobook versions of
Yeah.
Ghostology and Paracoustics.
You know that AI will actually do that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. But
It'll take
it
your
won't do,
voice. You take
it
your
won't
voice and
do it in my
do it.
fine English accent
Yeah, yeah,
with
fine English. Yeah.
with my stammerings and stutterings.
I'd like to see AI do mine.
I think it would blow. I would like to actually, because as you know, and as the nice lady from where was she from? The Dollar Queen Ghost Hunter,
Christy, she was from, I don't know, someplace Midwest, I think.
um,
Down south, Midwest, anywhere.
Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, as you know from that particular spirit quest, I am actually a fairly good mimic of accents.
Yes, you are.
But the one accent I can't mimic is the New England accent.
Uh,
It's impossible.
it's because we don't have one. It's kind of weird.
Well,
Everybody speaks
kind
different.
of do. You kind of do. It's kind of a mixture between Cornish, Irish, American.
Hmm.
Things like you extend the A.
Hey, what?
Well, you say A as or.
All right, whatever. I'm not going into it. Tell me how I speak because I don't know how I speak half the time.
Well, I do. I don't even know how you speak either. So,
Mm.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I was actually thinking about paracoustics and sound and thing. I mean, yeah. When you say like
There is
paracoustics,
also a chapter on infrasound and ultrasound.
yeah. So when you said paracoustics, most of me people just their little heads go right to um,
EVP.
EVP and spirit boxes.
Yep. And there is a chapter on them too.
Yeah, but the thing is you know, ghosts are reported for centuries, and we didn't have a lot of equipment to do it. People just heard things.
Realistically,
Yes,
the
yes.
the equipment didn't exist at all until the second half of the 19th century.
Hmm.
With the Edison's phonograph was the first recording equipment, first recording apparatus. Um, and it has to be, we're well into the second half of the 20th century before any equipment starts to appear in haunted houses.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, Steve, that all sounds have been reported. And you mentioned it's probably the most
Yeah.
notable of all things through the
I mean,
centuries, right? And
one of the very first ghost stories, our good friend Athenodorus,
God bless his soul.
and his chain rattling ghost, which was borrowed by Dickens in A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
You do have that one of the main aspects of the haunting was the rattling of the chains.
So my point is that we have something that has been reported. Even in today's event, people say, "Oh, I heard footsteps upstairs. I heard doors slamming," and you think that you would concentrate your investigating on those particular aspects, saying, "Okay, I heard those. All right, let's take a look at. Let's see if we can catch it." But you know what happens? It doesn't happen all that regularly, so people get kind of frustrated. So they whip out these boxes and recorders, and then they come up with sounds on these recorders and or spirit boxes that are speaking words that are being pulled off the airways. They even say that. And they're saying, okay, there's your thing for ghosts. Like you're not really looking at what was reported; you're just making stuff up. Don't
Yes.
you think?
Well, they are making stuff up, but whether they're consciously making it up because people hear what they expect to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You prime the pump, and you front load the whole experiment so that people hear what they're expecting to hear, and then it's a surprise when they hear it. And but you've got to. I mean, we've done this 100 times. The problem with sound as it relates to investigation isn't EVP. The problem is we are not that good at identifying, first of all, sound itself, and secondly, from whence it comes. So, for example, we may hear a sound, and they had this problem for years with emergency vehicles. People, when they had the wee wah sirens and
Mm-hmm.
the people drivers couldn't discern whether it was to the side of them from a side road, whether it was coming towards them or whether it was coming from behind them. And eh, so they put in a burst of white noise. So you get this wee whack, wee whack, wee whack, and the multi-frequency white noise um, is easier. It makes it easier for the brain to determine direction.
Hmm.
So that
Interesting.
little that you hear in emergency sirens quite often, particularly in Europe and particularly in the UK. I don't know if American ones use it to the same extent.
I'm not sure. We have like this big, huge ass wailing sound.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
hard to
we
tell.
have very loud
Yeah.
sirens, but if you listen to them, they'll go woo woo.
Yeah, yeah. No, you guys are definitely different. You're
Yeah.
right. They're
And
they're
that
they're not. They're broken up. They're not like a big, solid, steady sound.
no, and they're used differently as well.
Is that for directional? So that was for directional.
Yeah, the white noise in burst in between the wheeze and the wahs is used for it improves directionality.
Ah,
Uh,
excellent.
the second one is again coming down to the directionality problem. American sirens, from when I've been over there and when I've watched them on movies, tend to turn them on the minute they're out the door. The gates open and on go the sirens. British ones don't. They only use the sirens sparingly. So, for example, an ambulance racing to the scene of an accident, if it's racing down an empty road, it won't use its sirens. It'll just have the blue lights on. And then
Ah,
as it comes to an intersection, then they'll put the sirens, just before the intersection.
sort of like a train. We blow the whistle at a crossing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they found that generally that improved the audio awareness of where the vehicle is.
that makes sense too. Because a lot of times our brain will,
Yeah.
kind of
And
weed things out.
yeah, the other problem is with related to directionality is sound reflections and refractions, because sound is a wave. It moves through the air. It bounces exactly the same as the waves on the ocean. It bounces off walls and bounces, so for example, and there's an I hear it every day. We have these pipeline helicopters doing inspections, and they fly around.
Oh yeah, we do too. Yeah.
And quite often you'll think it's over there, when in fact it's not over that side to your right, or it's completely 180 degrees about, because the sound is bouncing off the wall of the adjacent property.
Yeah, which is true. Which is a
And
problem with sounds like when we do, if you do an investigation at a lighthouse or something on the coast where you have the ocean and sound travels,
yeah, well,
clearly.
sound travels across the ocean like in much the same way as a stone skips across the surface of water.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
sound waves sort of bounce over the top of the water.
Yeah.
But so when people say I heard a sound, it came from over there.
Hmm.
There is a strong potential for them to be wrong. Now, they're not deliberately being wrong, but their brain is interpreting the directionality of the sound wrongly because it's arriving. We measure, or our brain determines how we um, uh, discern direction because we have two ears and they're set apart from one another, and the sound waves will arrive a fraction of a microsecond before in one ear than before the other. Also, you have the problem that people's ears are independent, and one might have an AirPod in it or a big glob of wax, or might so the hearing is not necessarily the same on both sides.
Hmm.
And so that does mean that when people say it came from over there, the investigator should be aware that they may be wrong. In fact, there is a good better than 50-50 chance that they are wrong.
Mm. Yeah, it's intriguing. But the thing, once going back to what I was talking about, as far as we hear sounds, and they come up with all these devices now that supposedly let spirits talk to us, but it's all based on somebody's thoughts. It's like, oh, that got the sound, so it must be the spirits talking, and there's absolutely no proof at all that the spirit is really talking, or anything else is talking really. It's what you're interpreting, and but you can get results with it, with what the investigators wants, and it what the client wants. They say, "Oh, I want to, proof that this house is haunted, or proof that this place is haunted." And the investigator says, "I want to show them proofs to those to show how good I am," and they really don't do the true investigating of investigating what really they got called in for in the first place.
Well, I mean, there are two problems there. The first problem relates to is it actually saying anything?
Yeah.
Uh, because our brain will often fill in bits of audio it thinks are there. Now, there are many demonstrations of this, and in fact, when people listen to music, it's part of the trick that the brain does to put in. If you wear a set of headphones, or particularly these in-ear AirPods and things,
Hmm.
they are incapable of producing very low bass. So, but if you put them in your ear, you can hear the bass guitar really well, and it's like, oh, it sounds really deep. It's not actually the AirPod that's doing it. The AirPod is sending out other frequencies that the brain goes, well, there should be a bass there.
Ah.
So the brain puts it in. Now, it's kind of like that with words. Words consist of bits of words called phonemes,
Right.
which are the audio version of God, what are they called now? When they chop a word up.
You mean syllables?
Yeah, yeah, a syllable. So a phoneme is the sound equivalent of a syllable. So if you get the first one, your brain is already starting to fill in the gaps, jump slightly ahead of you. If you get a bit of the next one, then the brain will put the middle in.
Hmm.
And so what you might be hearing now, if you look at what people say they are hearing, and then you look at the spectrogram of the sound itself, you will often find that actually it's not saying anything at all. And a very good example of that is Sparky the Magic Piano. If anybody remembers Sparky the Magic Piano,
No, I do not.
this was a a record that was released I think in the 60s, and it was a talking piano. And
Was it really?
and another example was the Electric Light Orchestra in Mr. Blue Sky and the playoff. You hear the word, what people perceive, but it's
Oh,
wrong.
that's like what's his name? Eric Clapton's guitar there. It makes it talk.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So that you can make something that hasn't got a a voice box sound like a voice to the human brain. And there are lots of examples of, my kitty just spoke, my dog just spoke, because they're not actually speaking. They're making sounds that, to the human brain, sounds like a construction of three phonemes or two phonemes or however many make up the word or what's being said. And here in Britain, there used to be it was a film clip from a consumer television program, and it had a dog, a little dog in it, and the little dog, it was an advert for Wall's sausages, and the little dog had a really peculiar growl, and it went, and they used it in the advert, and the dog would say, "What do you want for your?" They go, "Walls, walls, walls, Wall sausages."
Hmm.
So yeah, what we think we hear and what we actually hear can often be very different, and that's where computer analysis can be advantageous and beneficial, because it allows you, much like with electromagnetism, to see the frequencies. With spectrograms of sound, you can look at the frequencies, and we know the range of the human voice. And there are differences between men and women. There are differences between Americans and Brits, and yada yada. Young and
Yeah,
old, in fact, older people don't sound the same as young people.
that's true.
And that's because our voice boxes generate a certain range of sounds that we know and associate with, due to physical changes. Now you can look at that with a spectrogram, and you can say, well, whatever it was saying those words, it wasn't human, or whatever it was saying those words was coming through a loudspeaker, not a human voice box. And there was a case we did in Pembrokeshire over 25 years ago, and that was the using a spectrogram, and we'll talk more about it after the break.
Yeah, go
was
ahead. You can.
was actually what made us demonstrate that it wasn't paranormal. But we'll talk about that after the break.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, so yeah, we do have to take a break, as we all do. And you're listening to Ghost Chronicles International right here on TogiNet Radio, and we're all good podcasts go. I
True that.
am to die. Okay. And we're brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. The Gallant Messier Family Law Group, 55 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. Very good friends on Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon, where we have, if you spend or donate, I guess is a better word. Spend, donate, whatever. It's $3 a month. If you want to join, you can join for a short period of time. You don't have to spend your life savings on it, and help support the show. And you get access to dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos on there, including some by my co-host here, Mr. Steve Parson, who promises more, and myself, as well as many other things as well. So check that out. That's Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon. And what else we brought to you by? Oh, yes, Positively Brilliant Candles on Etsy. I think I got that right this time. I've been
You
working.
didn't.
No?
Etsy.
Yeah, close enough. Anyways, and check it out. Positively Brilliant Candles on wherever Steve said. And after that, we'll be right back and continue with Steve's
Sell them
thoughts.
on Vinted.
What?
Couldn't you have sold them on Vinted just to make life easy?
No. Bye.
Do you have a paranormal event, book, or something else you want people to know about? Then why not advertise it on Ghost Chronicles Radio? With over 150,000 downloads a month, get your message out to an audience that's interested in the subject. We have a plan at a cost that fits your needs. For more information, contact Ron Kolick at anyghostproject@comcast.net or call 978-455-6678.
Located in Illinois, there lies a sleepy little town where nothing is a common occurrence.
You going to that party in town tonight?
Heck yeah! I only turned 18 once.
That is until the night of celebration.
Where the hell is she? Oh no. No, Jessica!
What's happening?
From the creators of Shadowhunters, Bite Me, comes a tale of primal terror and grindcore mayhem. Shadowhunters, kill, Jessica, kill!
Are you reading me? Come in. Hello? Greetings from the Shadow, and welcome to Shadowzine. My name is Jeff Belanger. I'm an author, podcaster, and explorer of the unexplained. For 30 years, I've been investigating the paranormal, UFOs, monsters, and things that bump in the night. Lately, you may have noticed how major TV networks and even social media networks have been pushing our favorite subject back into the shadows. I say good. That's why I launched Shadowzine, a monthly underground publication that covers your favorite topics in depth by some of the leading writers and researchers out there. If you're looking for 30-second TikTok clips, go somewhere else. If you're ready for a deeper dive, put down your phone and pick up Shadowzine. You can't find it in stores. This is old school print. Head to shadowzine.com and be part of the underground revolution. That's shadowzine.com, and I'll see you in the shadow.
And if you survived the first half, this is the second half of tonight's two halves of Ghost Chronicles Radio. This is the international half, brought to you by half of the co-host, and the other half of the co-host is over there. Go figure. He's not there now, is he? Okay, that's interesting.
In that case, I should unmute myself.
Oh, you're back now, are you? You can.
I always just wanted to listen to you say "ha" like you say.
Ha.
It's half, you dickhead.
It's not. It's ha.
Half.
Ha.
I don't know where you get that. I don't know what you're drinking, but anyway,
the good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So,
coffee.
You know, I was while you were at the break, while we were at the break, and then when you were coming back, I was looking up strange sounds that were recorded throughout the world, and there's some interesting.
No doubt there'll be the hum.
There's the hum. Yep.
Lots of hums. Lots of hums.
Yep.
There's that one where they stuck the microphone down the cola ball hole and recorded the sounds of hell.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's still not totally recorded. Don't forget the bloop.
Oh, and the bloop.
Yep. But here's one I never heard of, and it's in your neck of the woods, sort of. So the name of
you've been Googling again, haven't you? Yes,
this isn't the name of some English what the hell is that? Trapping through the woods while snatching game. It's the actual
Traipsing.
traipsing detail and joys of poultry. It's also the name of a creepy shortwave radio station. The station would consist of bars from folk songs, hence the name, and pre-recorded female voice.
You mean the
You know,
Lincolnshire Poacher?
yes, you know it.
Of course I know it because I listen to it's actually got nothing to it's not paranormal in the slightest. It's a Russian um covert intelligence. We have them, they have them, and they are placeholder frequencies.
It's
And
speculated that the station belongs to M16 and that it was used as a secret
they
transmission
actually
for British
they
spies.
actually know where the transmitter site for the
Oh, you
Lincolnshire Poacher.
did?
Yeah, it was. There are radio amateurs who are fascinated by this subject. There's whole channels on YouTube about them, about these. They're called numbers stations. If anybody wants to go and have a Google,
Hmm.
and one of the most famous is the Lincolnshire Poacher, so named. And there are others too, but the Lincolnshire Poacher so named because every in between the voice bits they play a very bad recording of an old English folk song called, surprisingly, the Lincolnshire Poacher.
Hmm.
But
Direct.
there are over 100 of these known number stations, and
Oh, wow.
people sit up, and have devices recording on the frequencies of these stations and log, even the slightest change in pitch, or they didn't do the number 7 that time. That must mean something significant. And then they compare notes, and they've actually been able to crack the locations of some of the, many of these stations now.
Mhm.
A lot of them have gone off the air in
Yeah.
recent years because they've been replaced by digital transmission methods, and also the world's a changing place. Voice of America doesn't exist. But some of the number stations that were attributed to the Eastern Bloc were actually later shown to be very much NATO countries. We were actively involved in it too.
Mhm.
Um, you
According to
know,
this, the radio station, this one particular one, was continuously ran from the mid 70s until June 2008, when it mysteriously ceased transition.
and then came back.
Direction finding revealed the location as a Royal Air Force base on the Isle of Cyprus.
Yeah,
It's speculated that the station belonged to M16 and was
no, not
used.
F-16, MI6.
Oh, MI6.
Yeah,
Well,
Military Intelligence 6, our overseas, our version of the CIA.
yeah, I know. I watched James One and all the other ones.
Yeah.
Did you see The Kingsman?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. The first one was amazing. So here's another one. You might know this one, or maybe
True
you don't.
events.
What's that?
Based on true story.
Is it really?
No.
I don't know. You're English. You're closer to it than I am.
It's based on a lot of English quirks and foibles, and it's very loosely based on James Bond, which of course is based upon the British Secret Service, which led to the founding of the American OSS, which
Yeah.
became the CIA.
Yeah. All over the world we have these sounds. We talked about the bloop and then some of the other ones, the hum, and then some of them. You ever hear of skyquakes?
Yep.
Okay.
Nobody actually knows what causes them. They're again speculations. There was one famous. The current number one theory is it's actually what you're hearing is the jet stream
You're right.
interacting with the troposphere,
Yeah.
and it's causing sounds. There are other theories as well,
Yeah. There's
but
no consensus according to this, and it says
no, there isn't. There isn't
some
because
more believable explanation include eruptions from
yeah,
nearby lake, meteors exploding, coronal mass ejections from the
yeah,
sun.
CME.
Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. But the thing it is that we have these weird ass sounds, and they're not necessarily paranormal. There are
Oh yeah.
explanations for them.
Well, actually, one of the skyquake sounds,
Mhm.
which went viral on the internet. This was about 5 or 6 years ago, and they played. There was a guy in it was somewhere in North America, I think New Mexico, and he goes outside and he says, "Have a listen to this," and he puts his and you hear these like, and it sounded like metal grating and grinding, and it was sounds that you've never heard before, and it was like, wow, that's really weird. And then other people started going, "Hey, I'm getting them too, and I'm in Idaho, and we're getting them up in Seattle, and we've got them in Mexico, and we've got them in China and Chile, and all." And somebody quite quickly spotted that they were all remarkably the same. There were theories it was aliens, it was God, it was, and then somebody said, no, these all sound remarkably the same. So they ran them through a spectrum analyzer,
Mhm.
uh, and quite quickly realized it was actually the same sound recording, and that the whole thing was just a copycat.
Fake.
Not, they were all a copy of the first one.
Okay.
Hashtag me too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this must be like the Forest Grove sound, which
Yeah.
occurred in February 2016. A mysterious banshee-like screeching was heard in Forest Grove, Oregon. They had received over 200 phone calls, and the
Loud,
city.
loud explosions like happened in the Berwyn Mountains up in North Wales, which was attributed to a spacecraft crashing.
Mhm.
A sudden, loud, huge explosion like a sonic boom, and quite a lot of sonic booms when nothing's flying. But nevertheless, we did promise before the break I would explain in fact, how I ended up in Pembrokeshire.
Oh
Uh,
yes, yes, yeah. Go ahead.
because
Yeah, I
at the
forgot about
time,
that.
yeah, at the time I was quite happily living in the northwest of England,
Mm.
and although I was thinking of relocating somewhere, and I was contacted by a media production company. Not that unusual, but what was unusual is not that they particularly wanted a media production, but they just had some really weird shit happen during the filming of a media production, and it was a voice that seemed to be shouting, "Help, help me, help," and screaming for
Oh,
assistance.
really?
Um,
Was this now? Was this in their own production when they were doing
this
some?
was whilst they were filming a paranormal team investigating Pembroke Castle.
Oh, yeah, your neck of the woods. Yes, yes, I
Well,
see
it
it.
is now,
Yeah.
and one of the reasons why I live here now.
Mm.
Not the voice, but the area. Now, so they contacted us and said, "Hey, can you help us?" So they sent us the recordings, and we had to look at the recordings, had to listen to them, and had to look at them on the spectrum analyzer. And there was something not quite right about them, because if you look at something like an MP3 file, there's
Mhm.
not much treble and there's not much bass because it's compressed, it's cut off. And if you look at the sound um, spectrum of a voice that's speaking to into a microphone,
Right.
you will, and then you compare it to the same person speaking through a loudspeaker, they look different, because a loudspeaker can't produce the full range of frequencies that the human vocal cords can.
Okay.
So after looking at this isn't human. This is not a human vocal cord that's the origin of this. Beyond that, we can't say for certain, but it's not a human voice. It's also not within the normal range for the native sort of species of animals. Um, but we don't know the acoustics of the location very well. So a plan was hatched. It took about a year to finally get done, and it was to go back with the media company, and they would film an experiment to try to understand what they got the first time around.
Makes sense.
So they took the original paranormal team and almost all of the original film production company back to Pembroke Castle with myself, Dr. Simon Sherwood, as a parapsychologist, was there as well. And we set up lots and lots and lots of recording equipment with the aim of conducting a number of replication experiments. We were going to have people in different parts of the castle with the words on a script, and at different times they were going to shout them out and speak them to see if so we could understand the acoustics of the castle.
Makes sense. Yep.
Anyway, so we'd spent the entire day setting up this huge system of recording equipment all over the place, and then we were just waiting for it because the voice that they'd recorded happened in the early part of the evening, so we were waiting for the same time of day as well. And we broke for a meal, and during the meal, one of the production company, one of the production assistants, came up and said, "Can I have a word?" I went, "Yeah, okay." He said, about this voice, well, you said it's not human. And I said, well, no. I said, the spectrum isn't human. I said, the spectrum is being produced by something that isn't a human voice box. It could, for example, be a loudspeaker or a walkie-talkie or something like that. And we're going to test that later. He said, well, actually, he said, there's no need to test it. It was me.
Right.
I said, what do you mean it was you? He said, during the original filming, which had been going on for a long time because this particular paranormal team were, well, let's just say they weren't working with the camera crew very well. Yeah. And it was it was the autumn. It was chilly. It was, Welsh weather. So it wasn't, a nice evening to be outside. And this person picked up their walk because they're all talking on walkie-talkies, and said, "Oh, help me, God, get me out of here," or something like that on the radio. Immediately, they'd said it. They realised that people had suddenly sat up and take notice, and a big thing had happened. They didn't realise quite that it was the voice until about an hour later, by which time this thing had taken on a life of its own, and they were just too embarrassed. But when we went back to do the replications, they realized quite quickly that we'd already cottoned on that it wasn't a human. It was probably, I think I'd said in an interview to the camera, one of the things we suspect is it might be a walkie-talkie. And they decided to come clean.
So did you try to reproduce it just for?
No, we continued with the. We thought, well, we're here now. We're all set up. We'll continue with the experiment, and we won't reveal the admission.
Okay.
Later on. So we did all the experiments, and then the final experiment was we set up a walkie-talkie system and replicated it.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I was curious.
And then we said, and having replicated it, blah blah blah. Now you can, I think, still find it somewhere on the interweb. It's out there somewhere. If people put in Pembroke Castle voice, it might still come up. Or it might be the original. They were a group from Cheshire, a paranormal team from Cheshire. I can't remember the name anymore. But in fact,
long ago, far away.
Well, hang on a minute, because I'm sat in front of a computer. And that's one of the reasons, because I was thinking of relocating. So I'd been sent down to here to do this job. And I just quite liked the area. And so when it got me thinking, I thought, do you know what? I think I might move there. Here we go. Reddit Paranormal. For a few years ago, it's been one of my own. There is a YouTube version, paranormal clips on YouTube. It hasn't been any comments for years, and I haven't heard it mentioned. It's an archive post, and somebody actually says, "Was all the audio recorded from one source? Curious, blah blah blah." So there's a bit of a discussion actually from over 10 years ago
Oh
um,
wow.
on
Shows you
Reddit.
that nothing dies on the internet, huh?
No, nothing dies. Somebody suggested here, even though we demonstrated what it was. There's people here saying it sounds like a rabbit. It's not. It's certainly not a wolf because there aren't any wolves. Um, Foxes. It sounds like an animal. It sounds eerie. Can anyone who speaks Welsh make out the words? Now, that was a proven event. So we
Yep.
know we are 100% sure of the cause.
Right. You had somebody that first confessed, and then also
Yeah,
you were able to replicate it.
yeah. Now, what we've got here is the majority of comments are swaying toward it being paranormal.
Of course.
What is interesting to me is the sound, the speed that the sound approaches the people investigating. It is very close to them. Well, yes, it was very close to them because the walkie-talkie was clipped to the lapel of the jacket. Um, there is no way that's a fox. Sounds like a person's voice. I wonder how often knowledge of a paranormal investigation about to happen gets out, and a few local kids turn up and try and scare the living crap out of them. Yeah, well, actually, it turned into, the reality of
Took on a life of
paranormal.
its own, right?
Well, it definitely has. But what's interesting is the um, it's a good indicator, good demonstrator of just how boring most investigations are.
Amen
Because
to that.
you know, the poor production assistants have been there for like, oh, it's going on, oh God, help me, get me out of here. But only by meticulous, and you said it at the start of tonight's show, so it brings it almost full circle. If you don't look, you won't find the answers, and many people don't look. They hear something and they blindly go with the first gut instinct that sounds like a fox, that sounds like somebody speaking in Welsh, that sounds like this, that sounds. They're trying to make it paranormal when in fact what they should be doing is trying to find out what it is.
Hmm. That's
They're
true. That's
arguing about,
absolutely true. Yeah.
yeah, they're arguing about, desperately trying to make it paranormal. Now, I've never written on that thread, so I've never been able to. And I doubt very much, even if I did and sent them the original recordings, there would still be people there who would say, but yeah, how do you know you were right? How do you know that person wasn't making up their admission? Like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
were we supposed to do like a polygraph on them? The
Yeah, there you go.
person, you know,
It's people who want what they want, and that's it.
yeah. And that's the problem with most paranormal investigations because the investigator goes along and what they're looking for is confirmation of something they've already predetermined.
Which is unfortunately what a lot of investigators do when they go in to
Yeah.
investigate. They don't really investigating; they're looking for collaboration. Really, yeah, collaboration. Blah, whatever that is.
Yes.
But anyways,
They're looking for one of them
yeah, one
and,
of the things.
and a fox, a Welsh speaking fox
Or a rabbit,
or a rabbit.
a silly rabbit. Anyway, uh, the other thing, and this was rather serious, was the Havana syndrome, which
Yeah.
was uh, began in 2016, and the American Canadian embassy staffs in Cuba began experiencing so-called Havana syndrome. Syndrome include memory loss, headaches, and nausea. Most of the symptoms began with persistent vibrating noise, which some described as a sound of driving with the window down. Uh, the study published in the Journal of American Association Medical Association confirmed that the diplomats had suffered a brain injury, leading hypothesis is that they were subject to microwave radiation, and the noise were a result of the Freya effect, which include auditory hallucinations. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's interesting because that's one thing we like to jump at EMF, but microwave emissions could also cause some problems as well.
Well, actually, now because of the low frequency vibration element of the Havana syndrome, this is
Mhm.
actually something that I did look into.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Now, in fact, I don't think it's microwave at all. I think what you had there with Havana syndrome was a building problem. I think that I mean, one of the locations was a hotel in Havana. Um, Now they mentioned, or you mentioned, this weird effect that you get when and it works especially on the back windows of a car. If you open the rear windows of a vehicle, the side
Mhm.
windows, rear passenger windows of a car, you can actually drive most of the people in the car insane in about 30 seconds. In fact, I don't know many people, particularly in my car.
Mhm.
30 seconds is about the absolute limit anybody can stand it because you get this infrasonic beat pulse taking
Yeah.
place. Try it. Drive at 50 miles an hour, wind both your rear passenger
Okay.
windows
Frankly,
down.
nothing bothers me. So
Yeah, well,
other than people.
give this one a shot. I think there was something within the building design that when the wind was blowing in a particular direction, because it
Mhm.
wasn't continuous, it came and
Right.
it went.
Right.
Um, and the symptoms, the cognitive problems, the balance, dizziness, insomnia, the
Memory
headaches,
loss.
that's much more in keeping with. I think that when the wind blew in a particular direction, and if you look at I remember looking at the design of the building, and it's got, it's a very square, boxy building with sticky out square bits. And I think what you had there was a standing wave rebounding between the structures
Hmm.
and setting up a
Interesting.
a resonance,
Well,
much like you experience in your car if you wind down the rear passenger windows.
we've got to wind down the show because we've only got a few seconds left. You've been listening to Ghost Chronicles International as we looked at sound and paracoustics right here on TogiNet
You
Radio.
can buy the book on Amazon.
You can by somebody I know, actually, an English chap, I believe.
Bloody good book as well.
Yeah. All right. So stay tuned for Ghost Chronicles Next Generation. And good night and God bless.
Good night.
From goalies to ghosties, long leggedy beasties, and things that go bump in the night.